Good evening, good afternoon. How you doing, everybody? It's your host Jose and your co-host Joey. Today we're gonna talk about Suicide Squad Titans, the episode number 6, and the Sandman audiobook that just came out. I think you could hear. You said 9 hours of it.
It's 11 hours and it was free on Audible. So Instagram has been posting a lot of trying to promote the free so you can
Audiobook.
listen for it for free download.
Yes, Brandy. I am awake. I'm awake. Full with energy. I just need some more water. Water. Dude, so let's get into the Suicide Squad because I feel like we're gonna rant a lot. And so, what did you think of the Suicide Squad? Was it better than the 2017? Who was your favorite character? Who did you hate the most? And did you expect the unexpected? Because holy shit, I did.
Um it was better than the first. Can't really count it as a sequel. I did enjoy it. My favorite character, I think I did love Bloodsport, his character. I love Bloodsport's character. I loved Polka Dot Man. Uh, of course, King Shark. And actually, I loved all the characters had like this emotional moment where you couldn't help but like fall in love with it. It's that Peacemaker. Peacemaker was, in the end, I could see where he was coming from,
Yeah,
but I was happy with I mean, it's no surprise if I say it is not much of a spoiler. He gets shot in the end. Uh,
thank you for the follow, Haas. I just noticed that.
I would say spoilers, and it'll probably affect the way you see the movie. And it's like, oh, but James Gunn already said he's making a show of Peacemaker, so there's no real spoilers there to mention,
Right.
to really say. So, but overall, I think it was a great movie, and I could see that there was some familiar elements to how he made Guardians of the Galaxy, but this is like Guardians of the Galaxy, but with steroids, like more rugged and more violent and more like less Disney and more, yeah, and it's more like it's rated R, so you can't. It there's similarities that I've noticed from like Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad, but there's still two separate movies that that you can you can compare and contrast both the movies, but it falls on its own. I did like the Suicide Squad. It was a fun movie. It wasn't. I didn't need to. It didn't take itself too seriously. It was a fun movie to watch.
It was a fun movie. I did not expect every fucking person on the first part, first chapter that we meet, mostly get obliterated in the beginning, on the island. I
Yeah.
thought we were gonna get more, especially with the guy that gets the javelin. What's his name? The actor. I just had him in my head. Oh my god, no. Fluha? Flu? Oh my god.
Fulufa.
Alufa,
Flufa.
yes, dude, that dude's hilarious. And for him to die, just like, damn, we could have had more comedic stuff with him. You could,
Oh my
yeah.
God, man. In an interview with Conan O'Brien when he's describing his character, he's like saying, yes, his name is Javelin, and he's a criminal, and then he has a very big, and then Conan O'Brien is like, Javelin? He's like, yeah, that's right. But the way he says it makes it seem like he's talking about his penis, but he's like, he has a very big.
Oh my god. Ah, man, he just doesn't. He
Oh
could crack
man.
you up in all his interviews, man. He gives me that Robin Williams vibe where it's like the interviews are not interviews. It's just like a little stand up. You know what I'm saying? His
Yeah,
character
yeah.
is that. That's how he expresses himself. It's
Yeah,
so crazy.
there was another one that he was talking about, that he was selling little pints of sand because and the pint of sand was actually that he would dance on top of this huge sand this sand. He would dance on sand, and he would sell that particular sand to people and sell it as this, like, yeah, I danced on this and I'm selling these sands to people, like as if anybody would buy it, but it's just him being stupid.
Wow. Um, I think one of my favorite ones, and I didn't think that they were. I literally forgot that Nathan Fillion was in this movie, but him being TDK.
TDK.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, man. The way I really listen. I laughed when Enchantress in the first one was dancing, but
Yeah.
him actually losing his mind that his arms are getting fucking blasted by bullets and just
Yeah.
like dying, and I don't even think he's dead though.
No, yeah. They posted it later on. James Gunn posted it on that in the list of people who died in that island, he was still alive.
Yeah.
And also this guy is still alive too.
Weasel.
Weasel.
Yeah. Brandon. I don't want that. Yeah.
I honestly, he's pointless though. He's a pointless freaking creature, which is funny, but it's pointless.
When he died, well, when everybody assumed that he passed away from drowning, they were all so happy because of what he did in his past crime. I think he like I don't even think I could say this on Twitch. He killed like 27 kids or something like that, or he did something else to that extent.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
he
know.
he's
Yeah,
pretty messed up.
yeah.
But yeah, what else? Yeah, Boomerang.
Dude, why would they kill Boomerang,
I
man?
love this character, and
Yeah.
I felt that ever since they made the live action version of Boomerang, they ended up bringing uh sort of that voice into now the cartoons and now into the character, like hearing him in the Suicide Squad versus the Justice League, and having that British accent and that British attitude. So I was felt like I feel like they ended up taking that element that he had and brought it into like now into the cartoon, because I don't think he was like that in the Justice League cartoon. I think he did pop up once with in Flash, and I think in the Flash TV show he did have a British accent, but I think he popped up like once and that was it.
Well, I know the TV show Snark doesn't. Oh no, wait, no,
It
no,
wasn't.
yeah, I'm thinking about fucking what's
He
his
was
name?
in the he. I know he was in the first crossover.
Yeah, he was in
Uh,
crossover, but he didn't last anything. I think he
no,
was just like
he
there for
didn't.
like a minute, and that's it. I think they
Yeah,
didn't want to use him because they were using him in the movie, and then everyone's gonna get confused and stuff like that. Like that's how they think, these stupid executives, man.
yeah. That always annoyed me about it. It's
He
talking
could have
about it
created the
doesn't make sense.
rogues, and they didn't really do that. You
Yeah.
know, it's a damn shame, bro.
You know,
Um,
also because of seeing Suicide Squad, I ended up seeing Birds of Prey, which
did you
I
enjoy that?
think I cringed, I guess, because I enjoyed the Suicide Squad so much that I ended up cringing in it. And though there was a lot of F bombs in the Suicide Squad, I felt like there was unnecessary F bombs in Birds of Prey.
I liked it. Did you not like the police scene when they're in the evidence room and then they have the whole fight? You
Oh
didn't
no,
like that?
I
That
there
was
was
in
a
a
lot of scenes that I did enjoy that was enjoyable. I
that
love
whole
the scene with yeah, when Harley goes in and she tries to get Cassandra Kane because
yeah.
she has the diamond. Yeah, I enjoyed that. And there was some, and of course on Ewan McGregor's performance as Black Mask. That
That
was good.
that scene when he's in his club and he's yelling at the stripper, bro. That shit felt. I was like, that actress took
No,
something to heart. You know what I'm saying?
no,
That felt real.
I felt very uncomfortable.
Facts. I
Like
was
I
like, oh
felt
my
like I
god.
was there at that moment watching. And the thing is just that's excellent acting. If an
Yeah.
actor could make you feel, if you makes you hate him, I feel like you did your best. You did your a great freaking job right there
Facts.
to
Yeah.
actually make me hate you so much in that scene. And I was like, I need you to take off your clothes. I need you to take it off. It's just he was just insane.
Yeah,
And
I
I think
felt
that's how, but even that how he was portrayed, because I felt like Ewan McGregor portraying this character. And when we saw what was it? Under the Red Hood, the first cartoon, when Black Mask is in there and how psychotic he was. And then when Ewan McGregor was cast, I was like, can he do it? Because we've seen Ewan McGregor in many movies before, but never portrayed that type of character. And he did an excellent job.
yeah.
It was pretty
That's
crazy.
the one thing I will say about DC. They know how to cast the right people, though. Like, I mean, that they had a few incidents here and there, but like, look at the cast that you should. Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Batman, Amanda Waller, Harley Quinn.
I think that they do well casting.
Not all the
It's
time, but
No, not all the time. They do well casting. It's just
just
sometimes they fail at how to write the
right,
character.
yeah, yeah. Like that
That's when
that shot.
yeah, like when you start to hate the character and you're like, I don't know. I don't like this character, and I've seen this character before. It's just how it's written, and you start to hate him. Kind of like how Jared Leto's character was edited. I think David Ayer knows what he did, and he kind of feels like he failed the viewers to see what they did to Jared Leto.
He had like what
And
5 minutes of him in the movie.
I mean, and we were talking about in the first Suicide Squad
Yeah, he had like
when
5 minutes of him in the movie. Like if you
yeah
take
we
all the
didn't
scenes that he was in, it's literally like
yeah
5 minutes.
it wasn't that much, and they said that there was a lot more, and that David Ayer was originally going to make him the villain,
Right.
like he was going to be the main villain of the film, but he said they edited it twice and he still didn't get the chance to see the movie he made, you know, which I doubt that WB is going to even give a chance to we could see his director's cut.
Right.
I think the voices were loud enough for Justice League, but I think they want to sweep this under the rug, because they want to sweep Justice League, the Snyder cut, under the rug. I feel like they're going to sweep the David Ayer's cut too.
I hope that the future DC movies actually try to mention the Zack Snyder movie, make it canon, because nobody wants to see the Joss Whedon type of Justice League. I mean, for him to have the freaking black Superman suit, you can literally edit the last credit, the last ending credit scene of Shazam. Give him the black one, and that's it.
Yeah, I think they could fix a lot of those and kind of like put them together and make it right. Like they don't have to. Yeah.
I don't know. And I think the Blu-ray disc came out for all of the Zack Snyder's movies.
Mm.
Man of
Yeah,
Steel, yeah, it just came
I
out.
know Snyder cut, Justice League Snyder cut did come out. I'm
Yeah,
thinking about actually having it in my collection, at least to have it there.
kind of want to have it too.
That's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those movies where fans fought for it
Oh
and
yeah, one
they
hundred
got it.
percent.
Even though however long it was, I feel like it wasn't as long as you think. If you're paying attention to the time, then you know it's a long movie. But if you're watching it without even giving thought to the time itself, you're it's like it keeps going and it doesn't stop. There's no moments where it feels like, oh, it's dragging. Like some Batman versus Superman scenes where, where it was like it was cringy to watch and it was lagging. But
Right.
there, it's like every single moment, it's like, you know, it's like, you can't help but like watch it. I actually enjoyed Justice League Snyder Cut, and I felt like what James Gunn did with the Suicide Squad kind of fits into that world. like it just really connects well with that, rated R world that Snyder did for Justice League.
We have to go back to the Suicide Squad because we went on a whole other
No,
tangent.
so saying that James Gunn did well bringing creating the Suicide Squad, separating it from the first one without having to really mention what happened in the previous film, and made it his own, but still feel like it's part of Snyder's. Just mentioning that he shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet enough, it's telling me like, oh, that connection right there built an entire universe that Snyder created. Just that talk alone, like he shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet.
Where the hell did he get the kryptonite if Lux had all the kryptonite?
I don't know, but
And then Batman took it.
yeah, it is pretty interesting though. But I mean, we don't really have to question it. I mean, a little piece of rock create a bullet to shoot him. It's like they don't need to go to in the science and the story of it, but it you know it is pretty cool though. It connects.
I don't think well, a lot of people say that Peacemaker and King Shark stole the show. I do like both of them. But we have to mention other actors like Peter Capaldi. I think Peter Capaldi did really good in his own right with this character. They kind of gave him like that doctor type of feeling, but just a much more darker side, especially with him able to use Starro and used his little babies to experiment on actual people. And when they went into that lab, it was fucking brutal what you saw.
Yeah.
Like the bodies were just, oh my, it was just.
Yeah, it's they made him into like this ultimate villain. I actually enjoyed Peter Capaldi. It's like it's like a friend that I haven't seen in a long time kind of pop up again.
And you
That's
know
what it
what's
felt
funny
like
is they
seeing.
gave him the monologue and he did that monologue.
Yeah, he was great. I actually enjoyed him. I loved his villainous attitude. It was cool to see him in a different view, in a different perspective that's not Doctor Who or any other characters that I've seen him portray.
Yeah.
He was fun to watch.
He said that he enjoyed every single moment of filming and that he I think that was his favorite crew and the cast that he was in so far. That says a
Mm.
lot.
Peacemaker had his moments. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't care much for him. I did enjoy Bloodsport's character. Um Rick Flags was, I always liked this guy to play Rick Flag. I felt like I didn't enjoy him in Suicide Squad, Rick Flag, when he was there. I felt like with the Enchantress and his love relationship with her, felt like a weak character, and I felt like they shouldn't have written that into his character. I didn't feel
Yeah,
like
I didn't
I
feel
didn't
that
feel like
either.
I didn't feel like he should have been leader. If it, it, he didn't feel like a leader in the first one, but
No.
here I felt like, oh, he was pretty badass. I actually enjoyed watching him in here than I enjoyed it in the first film. Um, and I love Ratcatcher. I like what the situation that she was going through, her father's relationship, and Taika Waititi. I didn't even know he was in this film
I
until
I forgot he
later
was in this
on.
film. Yeah, I literally
Like
forgot.
honestly, I didn't know. And then when the scene where she's like trying to wake him up because he died, I didn't know it was him then, until she brings out all the rats to stop Starro, and then you see her at the top of the building with him, and they're having a conversation. I almost teared up. It was like a sort of again, why it brings it up to Guardians of the Galaxy. That scene when he touches the crystal and he sees his mother. that reminded me right then and there. Like she is, she's destroying Starro, bringing all the mice, and then she's having that flashback of her father and why the rats are important, why they're using rats as as their helpers and stuff like that, which was
Oh,
very interesting.
there's a
So it
whole
had
bunch
that
of.
similarity at the end of
I got you.
how,
Yeah.
yeah, which
There
was
was a
cool.
whole bunch of fucking rats. I would be
Oh, dude,
fucking
I to be
terrified.
honest, I didn't even think that many rats existed. It felt like she
Jesus,
pulled them out of different states and countries, and they all listened
bro,
to that
those
thing.
rats came in hot and fucking huge, bro. Like size of my foot, huge
I
shit.
like that. I actually like that moment when Harley stabs him in the eye and she's swimming in that eye
Oh
goop and all
yeah,
the
yeah.
mice are like there and she's smiling and they're all like trying to eat up everything. And I was like, that was
It's
pretty
so
cool.
Harley. Yeah, it's so Harley, and it's so mesmerizing, and how they played with the effects too.
And I actually enjoyed her short relationship with that dictator dude when she shot him and she explained to him why she did it. Like she knew, like, I saw these red flags and I told myself if I saw red flags, I would have to get away from it. And
Like
she
that.
shot him. And
That's
I felt like,
character development right there,
yeah, and I
man.
felt like that was cool because we got to see like her creation in the first Suicide Squad and her relationship with the Joker. And then we got to see Birds of Prey and we got to see how they broke up and she was just tired of that shit. And then here we get to see her finally realizing that she's much more than that. She can't get into relationships that are toxic.
Right.
So if that she grew up.
Yeah.
I felt like I felt she was much older in her personality now. Like she's more lovable and easy to like to she's cool. She's you can enjoy her, like her character more now.
No,
She
I
was
agree
spent
with
too
you.
much crying in Birds of Prey. I was like, oh my god, she's just dealing with shit. It's like she was dealing with all the emotions, like the breakups and all this stuff, and then now she's just like realizing her potential and who she really is, which is great.
They thirsty. Did you like Renee Montoya?
Rosie Perez. I was in love with Rosie Perez since uh
He gave you that Bronx but
white man
Brooklyn type of girl.
white man can't jump.
I don't think I've seen that.
If you ever see White Man Can't Jump, she was friggin' excellent in that. She gave that Marissa Tomei feel in that movie, like that attitude and that, like,
Oh, yes,
but
Seth.
she felt like she was like more Bronx. But it was kind of a weird relationship because her relationship was with Woody Harrelson, who's a white guy. So
Right.
hearing her talk and the way she kind of expresses and she has that accent, she was phenomenal in that freaking movie. But I liked Renee Montoya. I They kind of slipped in that she did have a relationship with a woman, which she is gay in the comics, but not so much. I felt like they should have kind of that opened that up a little bit more. And she was smart, and you know, she was ready to take down she was ready to do whatever she can. So she was pretty badass. But joining the Birds of Prey, I don't know. I didn't think that should have been should have been it.
Really? Okay, that's
It felt
interesting.
it felt weird. I don't know. And she's a much older character, older actress to be included in a Birds of Prey with two young women. It was odd. Like I would see, like, she, if she got her job back as a police officer and whatever, would be fine, but then do shit on the low with them. Be like, sort of kind of put her as an oracle of some sort, because they're not going to bring Barbara Gordon. So having her and work in the police station and then sort of give them like, yeah, we're gonna go this way, let's do this. Like I would have loved to see that instead of them going out there beating the crap out of people like it's a side scrolling game, you know.
Well, we definitely knew that she wasn't going to turn into the Question yet. So
Yeah.
that
And
was a good.
also I kind of like the Huntress, kinda. I love Mary Elizabeth Masterson. What? No, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. There you go. That's her name. Yeah, that's her name. Um, ever
Title.
since I've seen,
It was in Sky High, right? Is that
yes, she was the
okay?
villain. She was in
Okay.
Sky High. She was also,
She still looks young. She still
yeah,
looks like she looks like that.
yeah, and she
Okay.
just came out with a new movie that which when I saw the trailer and it was her doing action, I was like, this could be a Huntress movie on
Mm,
its own. Like it looked like she's kicking ass, she's fighting and doing all this stuff, and I was like, this could be a Huntress film. Like she has the short hair and everything. That's like it could have been a Huntress movie, but it's like she was an oddball in the group because
she
she
was like the
seemed
quiet
like
girl that can assassinate anybody. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and then she ended up wearing the suit that she wears in the comics, like the outfit, and I felt like it felt weird. Like I looked at it and I was like, it's like they just decided to like, hey, here, take this. Don't worry, it's at the end of the film. We don't care. Nobody will
Right.
notice. But I noticed it was horrible. It wasn't the
I
way
didn't
I
like
think.
it. Wow. Okay. Okay.
I think. I
Okay.
mean, it's her character suit. It's noticeable where it's tight, but it's not like, oh my god, she's showing so much. It's almost as close as to how Black Widow has her outfit, but there's like the skirt, like kind of like trench coat looking skirt thing, and I think she could have pulled it off because I think she had the body and the to have that suit on. I think she would have been perfect for it to put on that suit.
Okay. So going back to the Suicide Squad, I forgot. I didn't even know until I saw the cast on my phone after watching the movie that Sylvester Stallone voiced King Shark, and I was like, whoa. I was
That
like,
made me
I
laugh.
didn't know.
My every scene with King Shark was funny, especially the one with the mustache.
Oh
Like
yeah.
we go in there with a mustache, and he has his finger like this, like no one would recognize him, and then he gets pissed off. It's just so funny.
Fuck.
Yeah,
He gave when he said fuck, it kind of reminded me of the Harley Quinn show. 'Cause he just
and
curses now.
in the scene when he sees the fish in the fish tank, and
Oh
he's like,
yeah, yeah.
"Oh, dumb friends." It was a weird scene, but it was funny because they're like trying to like covertly go into this castle, and somehow he just magically just like somehow manages to walk off that entire situation and end up like near a fish tank. It was like it was just like random, like, but it's like nobody questioned it. But I felt like it was like it was cool, it was funny to me. But it's like that moment was pretty like, you say, dude, go with your teammates. What are you doing there? And what was the other dude? The guy that died, that they kept saying that he was part of the team, but no
Wasn't
one realized it except Polka Dot Man,
wasn't
the
Enrique?
Spanish dude or
It was
something.
was it Enrique? No. Was Alan? No. Tony? No. Johnny? No. Edwin? No. Aaron? What
I
the
don't know,
hell
man.
was her name?
I think Polka Dot Man had a lot of potential there if they that we could tell like there was that whole situation with his whole mental illness and dealing with his parents, and I feel like there was a deep part that could have been fleshed out a little bit more. I think you discussed it in the beginning when you first mentioned it, And I when I saw it, and I was like, I see what it means. Like it could have been fleshed out a little bit more. Like with his relationship with his mom, but he does discuss it, and he says, I see my mom all the time, and that scene when he's dancing in the club and they all pop up. Oh my god,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was so funny.
His name is Milton.
Yeah, that's right. When he it's like, and Milton, and I said, I thought you were Milton. And it's like, no, Milton was with us. Who the hell is Milton? But
Was
yeah, I love Polka Dot Man, and I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did and that ending.
right.
He got crushed, but he was he was a good character. I
Yeah.
liked him.
Um. Overall, the movie was good. Starro, I didn't expect to actually like destroy a huge part of the town. I literally forgot while watching the movie that he was in it. But even though it was getting mentioned like Project Starro, Project Fish, or something like that,
Yeah,
um, what was something that I really liked that I forget? Oh, so in the first couple minutes in when Meryl, that is fucking name, actor, the Walking Dead dude, Meryl, he's getting the
yeah,
chip implanted in his head. The doctor that's giving it to him, he's actually he actually started the Suicide Squad comic.
yeah. I think he was the creator of it.
He's
Yeah,
yeah,
he
he
was
was
there
creator.
for a brief time. Yeah, he was there.
Oh man, Viola Davis in that scene with Idris Elba's character, Bloodsport,
Oh yeah,
being the captain, like I'll make you a leader. That shit was fucking intense. Even him and the girl, his daughter, when they're having that whole fight in the phone booth,
yeah.
bro, that felt so real, bro. Oh, really real. Oh my god, it was a good scene. They know how to cast and they know how to write them. It's
No, they
surprisingly
did.
because the Bloodsport and like Deadshot almost have the same thing in both movies. Yet I don't know what happened that shot wasn't as great as Bloodsport.
I think is how again the first Suicide Squad had so many issues that and a lot of stuff that wasn't even fixed because even David Ayer, the director, said he never got to see his real movie. So so I would understand, watching it, you could see why it's some of it is very cringy.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff was I felt edited wrong, or maybe certain things were removed, and some characters weren't fleshed out the way they should have. So we never really got to see the actual Suicide Squad movie that everybody wants to see. Even David Ayer himself wants to see. So, but
Hashtag David Ayer. Release
yeah,
the David Ayer cut.
yeah. So James Gunn did, even they said DC said do whatever the hell you want, and this is what he did. The funny thing is the way he was talking about it almost felt like it's crazy that they made me make this movie. It's almost insane how much stuff I included in this film. And I was like, oh my God, what did he do? And I was almost like, oh man, I hope this is a great movie. I hope it was enjoyable. And it was enjoyable. They could, every movie has their moments where you're like, I don't know about this, but you know, there wasn't enough of that for me to hate the movie. Like that feeling like, oh God, this scene. It was everything was fun and enjoyable, and I liked it, though I didn't want Boomerang to die, and I felt like he was one of those characters. He was
when when
Boomerang.
when Bloodsport and Peacemaker were in the island and they were shooting guys left and right, the whole where it was like a one shot, slowly
Yes.
one shot, just following the characters, and some of them like cut off and edited somewhere else, was a zoom in, zoom out, all those things. That was a beautiful scene. I don't know why. I was like so mesmerized on the way they did it. Kind of felt like a Black Ops kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who had the worst death, but I feel like Pete Davidson's face was just the worst.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know who had the worst death, but his when they showed his face, like it was, I was like, oh my god, this was horrible, man. Everything else, people were getting decapitated, bodies sliced up. I don't know, but his when his face was just, uh it was just done. I just was like, man, I don't know if this was the worst death and shit, but yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
I think his only because we actually got to see his face, but Boomerang was like that ASAP, and just yeah, man got
I
chopped
know.
up real quick, man. Shit was sad. I was like, why Boomerang, man? I didn't want this man to die. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
You know what we should do at the end of this episode of
Polka Dot.
podcast?
Oh, hold up, Polka Dot Man. We could have learned a lot more because of his mental health, and the whole freaking when he's dancing in that club scene, and then it
Yeah.
just switches to everybody and his mom. That was fucking uncomfortable as fuck.
Yeah, it was. And it was like slow motion, but it was like he was enjoying himself. And then when you see all the people looking like his mom, it was just so funny to me. Oh my God. It was funny. But I like his character. And I got to see an interview that he actually, not an interview, but he was giving a speech, and he went through a lot of shit that I didn't think that he would go through. I didn't, there's actors that go through like drug binges and drinking and things like that. But when he was telling his story of what he was going through, I was like, man, it's very terrible. Like he went through taking drugs and trying to like rob people and to try to get his next hit. He was homeless and things like that, and I was like, wow, like he went through a lot of shit, and it was kind of heartbreaking. But the fact that he made it out of this situation and decided, and got into acting more and doing all these things, now he's like pretty much everywhere. I mean, he's done The Flash, he's done Batman, he's done Suicide Squad, and he's done a lot of shit. So
A lot of voice acting too.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I want to see him keep doing more. I love this. He's with everything that he has done, he's done a very good job at all the characters that he portrayed. And yeah, and like the voice acting, he was also in Dune. He played a character in Dune. So yeah, he's given these opportunities, and I hope I get to see his character more. He does a hell of a good job,
For sure.
especially in Ant-Man too, in both Ant-Man movies too. Like when he when he shrinks, he's like, "Ooh, this is the stuff of gypsies." Like he was a great character. I like him. I think he should do more stuff.
Um. All right.
That in the end credit scene, that scene when that blonde woman comes on, she's when she sees Peacemaker in the bed, she comes on and says, "Well, his job is to save the fucking world." When she says that, that blonde woman, that's James Gunn's wife. Yeah, I've seen her in like cameos before, but I don't.
Right.
This is probably the first time I've seen her actually play a character. So it was really cool.
I didn't notice that. That's interesting. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna move on to Titans. So I think we came yeah, we talked about it last week, right? So in episode 6, which is called Good Sister? No, it's not called Good Sister. It's called Burying the Hatchet. It gets intense. You saw it, right? This new one?
Oh no, yeah. It's what,
Uh,
six or what?
what?
Six?
Yes.
Talking about six?
Yes.
Yeah, that's when we get to see a little bit of before Barbara got shot. We get to see her.
Well, it's interesting because it doesn't look like she did get shot from the Joker the way they're doing it.
I
Like
mean,
that's not the vibe I got.
but she does mention that he is the reason why she
Oh
ended up.
yeah. Oh okay. Okay.
I think in the previous episodes, after what happened to Red Hood, to happen to Jason Todd, in conversation, she mentions it. It's nothing crazy. Like it's. I guess it's known to Dick and everybody, so it's not like they're gonna like kind of talk about it and stuff like that. But yeah, I think she mentions it in passing that he's the reason why she's in a wheelchair,
Well, it's
which
interesting.
I,
Hmm. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, I don't know. I liked her character. In the beginning though, I could see, I would understand why she's bitter, and being a commissioner, you have to be like this serious person and kind of like don't take shit from anybody. But the way she was felt very old school Batman the animated series Barbara. That happy wants to like save people and do good thing like she was in the cartoon, which was fun.
It was really interesting because it also explored more on Barbara and Dick, how they were
Yeah.
uh slowly becoming. Well, they knew each other. They knew that. I think Barbara already knew that Bruce was Batman.
Yeah.
Um, and she's also like called a thief, so she has like this Selena Kyle type of style where she's trying to steal things and just doing it for the fun of it. And I think it's right up until when she meets Lady Vic and her partner, and then they have the death thing. I think that's when like I think her mind switches and says like I don't want to be a thief. I actually want to protect and stuff like that. Like I want
Yeah.
to make amends of what I did. Even though I don't think she really did it. I think she just defended herself and then he threw it at the guy, right?
What were you talking about? What scene?
When Lady Vic and her are fighting and she throws something, I think she like hits it and hits the guy, or she dodges it. I don't remember, or she throws it.
Yeah, that she kind of blames herself for it.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why I think she would go and become bad girl. That's one of the
Yeah.
main points. It's also really cool to see Blackfire because we only got like a mini episode, and then on the second season, and then on the last episode, she was like in a what is it called? She was in prison, I guess. She was being held by the U.S. government, and now she's out and about. And her conversation with her sister is very interesting. I like it. I like where that's going. See, slowly but surely, I understand why they pick. Forgot her name. The actress that plays Starfire, I get why they picked her. Like she gives you that she's trying to be good. She's actually a Tamarin. She's Tamaranian, I'm sorry. Just her acting is so good.
I also, yeah.
And the
I
girl
kind of
that they
like that
played
they
Blackfire
sort of
too.
they're sort of bringing out more of the history of Tamarin and how slaves are and things like that, because even they were like, when Blackfire comes in, it's like, oh, he's your servant and things like that. I said, there's no servants here. You know, so also you're a servant. You're washing dishes and cleaning up. And I said, no, this is part of the team. We all do something in his place. So it seems you could tell like the way their world is. It's everything. There's like servants and rule, and you have your, it's like being like rich people. And I guess Blackfire is like, no, this is not the way it works. You're not in like a sort of a kingdom where everybody has a servant and you have to, there's other people doing your stuff and things like that. So it's like you could tell like the way things are ruled over there. which we don't get to really see. We get to see probably see it in the Teen Titans cartoon a little bit, not so much. Like when I think when Starfire is getting forced to get married by some crazy looking alien thing when she goes back to her planet.
Yeah, that was pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
So, but Blackfire, I think, was trying to do that so she could become the queen or something. I don't remember what it was. I also do like the fact that again, you mentioned Connor last week, how you're seeing more of his intelligence come alive. And so they're exploring more of the Lex Luthor part of him, of his intelligence. And yeah, we're still getting like, his powers of like being Superman basically.
Yeah.
Super speed. I didn't really think he had that super speed though. Yes, he did. Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, because he ran to try to save Hawk, but
No,
he
I'm
did it at
thinking
the
of
wrong
in the
time.
comics. I think he was racing Kid Flash at one point in the comics.
Now he has the speed. It was the flight that the only thing that he didn't have. I don't think he
Uh,
had the laser eyes either. It was the super
no, he
strength.
does. He does. He does.
Okay, I guess he does. Yeah, he does. Trying to remember the old episodes of the second
Second
season.
season. Um, and at the end, this motherfucker decides to take over Jonathan Crane's fucking uh lab
Yeah.
and sells the non fear toxin to a couple of guys, and these fucking guys go into one restaurant that one character's in that we seen in the first episode, creating the origin of Tim Drake.
Yeah, it
That, my friends, to us, is unredeemable already. More so on what the fuck
yeah,
what
I, I'm
happened
I'm
before.
I'm still wondering how the hell they're gonna come if we're gonna even see Jason at some point, or what they're gonna do to his character, because it's when comic books are written, we understand that, we know that, like Punisher, like Ghost Rider, like what else, and Red Hood in the comics, he they kill criminals and things like that, and they were doing a lot of bad shit, and Batman doesn't like that. But in the end of the day, Batman knows where his heart is, and he wouldn't hurt anybody who's good. It's he protects regardless of him putting the bullet on the criminal. But at the end of the day, it's he's painting himself as a freaking villain right now, and he's done forced Dove's hand to kill Hawk. He done send a whole bunch of people to kill Tim Drake's parents. Now it's like, can we, what are they gonna do to him next? Is he gonna be a villain? Is he gonna be redeemed? Are we gonna be at some point being like, he's a hero now, he could do good things? But it's like, I don't know if you could forgive characters like that. It's like an Arrow, when Deathstroke came back, for some strange reason, Oliver and him were the best of friends. They ended up getting a friendship. It became having a friendship together, and I found that to be really bad writing, because I was like, I'm sorry, but this man murdered your mother right in front of you and your sister, and you're friends with him. Bad writing right there. That's not. I'm sorry. You should have killed him. I would have killed Deathstroke. I probably would have died killing him, but I would have gone after him.
Yeah, like in the circumstances of like you get your mind erased or you're being under duress or what they call um you're being manipulated somehow. Like that's okay. Like you're being friends with him later on, and conflict's already been resolved. But the fact that he actually killed him, and then all that thing happened, yeah, I just don't get why that would be a thing.
And
That's not,
you can't build relationships with a person that just killed your family.
yeah,
You can be like, hey, and in hopes that you could redeem that. You said, at the end of the day, you're gonna look at this person as the person who murdered your entire family.
yeah.
So it's you can't.
I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. I think that was season 5 or 4.
In what?
Arrow.
I think it was season 5. No, it was. When
Was it
did he come out?
6?
Deathstroke.
I know that stroke was already out by the time season 4 came out. Now
He was there
that's
before, but he wasn't Deathstroke yet. He was just, his regular slave.
Slade.
Yeah.
All right. Since we're done talking about tie-ins because Jason created the origin of Tim Drake in this universe, you could talk about Sandman and the audiobook.
Oh, yes. Oh, the voice casting is amazing. And you have to hear it with headphones to be able to hear every single detail of every character's voice, the background noise, the music, and everything. And it's phenomenal. Um, I have all the volumes, but I never got to read them. And I wanted to read them first before I got into the volumes, before I got into to the Audible. But right now, the Audible is, if you get the chance, it's free. I don't know for how long, and it's 11 hours, and it's free, and you get to hear an amazing cast of actors. So you got James McAvoy, who plays the Sandman, Morpheus. You got Kat Dennings, who plays uh, 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 um, Death, and you have Arthur Darville, who played Rory in Doctor Who. He plays William Shakespeare. Let me see. I gotta get every actor perfect because uh, it's everyone plays a hell of a good um, role in a. So big. The whole story is pretty much a man goes to someone's house and they find a book that could resurrect death, and they wanted to be able to control death in order to have immortality. So if they able to capture death, then they could gain immortality. The bad thing about that is that they don't resurrect death. They end up resurrecting the Sandman. The man, he's the Lord of Dreams, and he is there for so many years inside. And while he's there inside in that glass dome being held, they steal 3 of his artifacts, and then those 3 artifacts are sort of his source of power. And then on all these years that he's been in there, for 10 human years that he's in there, because do they go through years very differently, while the endless, which is Sandman and Death and all the other ones, Destiny, Desire, they all in those 10 years they were experienced that for 3 years. So let me see what the actors. I want to make sure I got the actors right. There is no future. Nope. I want to get the information. All right, the cast. All right, we have the Corinthian. The Corinthian is, his character looks pretty freaking wicked. But he is, I think he was created by Sandman to give nightmares to people, because there's what are dreams. You also have to have nightmares at some point. But he has teeth in his eyes, Like he has like sharp teeth in his eyes, so he wears lenses. And he's voiced by Riz Ahmed, who played the main villain in the first Venom movie. He plays the Corinthian. Then there's Kat Dennings that plays Death. Taron Egerton, who was also he was the main kid in the Kingsman. He plays John Constantine, which he plays a hell of a good voice. His voice is very good as John Constantine. Neil Gaiman is also the narrator, so you get to hear him more and while he's narrating the entire story, which is really interesting to have the creator of Sandman sort of narrate the entire story for you. Then we have James McAvoy, who's pretty much the main character of the story. Morpheus to Sandman. We have Samantha Morton, Uranian Black. She plays Uranian Blackwell. And Andy Serkis plays Matthew the Raven. Andy Serkis has played not only CGI characters like he played King Kong, he's played Golem, but he's also known as the main villain in Black Panther. Not forgot his name. What was the main villain in Black Panther that had the messed up arm that Ultron cut off? I mean, everyone should know Andy Serkis. And then Michael Sheen, who was in mostly all the Underworld films. He played main wolf, and he was also in Good Omens. He played yeah, Ulysses Claude. And Michael Sheen, who played it, he was in Good Omens. He played Aziraphale. He plays Lucifer Morningstar. So, oh yeah, Gaiman said that when Neil Gaiman wrote it with Terry Pratchett, they when they wrote it together. I guess when they finished the book, there was a point in their life when they decided like there was possibly there was a possible sequel that could have been written, and they have spoken about it before Terry Pratchett died. So I I believe there's a second season coming. Yeah, yeah. So this one is, to be honest, I haven't really sat down and watch it, but I'm hoping to catch on onto that because with I feel like since he's casting most of the characters that he's cast there, he's casting in the audiobook for the Sandman. It seems only right to get into watching it. But yeah, so it's it's a good listen to listen to. Um and the acting is great because you have all these actors and it's just not just like just back to back conversation. It feels like they're having these conversations while the whole story is going through, and it's just hearing James McAvoy as Morpheus is very cool, very poetic. It feels like the way he talks is just not like how normal characters talk, but when he talks, it's very like it's I don't know. It's like a smoothness to it. It's like the way he chooses his words, and I think Neil Gaiman did a hell of a good job writing it. And we get to see like little bits and pieces of the DC universe through Morpheus's eyes because you'll get to hear like well-known characters like Scott Free, who I think he played Mr. Miracle. Um, there's we get to see talk about Martian Manhunter. We get to hear about the original Sandman from JSA. We get to hear about Intrigan. Um, for people who have seen Lucifer and on Netflix, Lucifer Morningstar makes an appearance, and you also what else? Was something there that was pretty interesting. Oh, Arkham Asylum. It becomes a major part of the series in the audiobook. You get to hear it a lot because there's mention. You even hear Joker at some point being mentioned through the series. So it's because Arkham becomes an important part of the story. So it's a I you guys, it's free. Check it out, and if you're a geek yourself, it's a good listen to. Honestly, it's really good.
Well, that's a must read and must go. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna end it here. Um, right? Do you have anything else to say, Joey? Gonna take us
No, I
off?
don't have anything else to say. How? I got new Funko Pops you guys have to see. All right, I gotta get them from up there.
Thank you, pops.
Wait. But I think if we get sued, well, we can't get sued. Can we get sued if I end up playing it out of my iPhone, the song?
Yeah, just you can.
Sucks. All right. Ugh. All right. I used to watch this show when I was about 9 years old. They used to give this show. And I guess I think I want to start collecting Funko Pops from characters from that I used to watch when I was very small. And if you guys don't remember, well, go Google it, or if you're too young to even know what the hell Happy Days TV show was, but it was one of my favorite shows. So here
Hey.
is Richie Cunningham, the Fonzie, which is two characters.
Oh, that
And I also have Joni, which is Richie's sister, and Chachi, who's the nephew. I could have collected Arnold, but I don't know. He wasn't there for that long in the show, and it was played by Pat Morita. We know Pat Morita. He was also Mr. Miyagi in in in, uh, in Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, and I wanted to play the Happy Days theme song while I was like showing you guys these, but again, we're not allowed to play certain music that's.
God damn freaking news.
I know it's like free on Spotify for you to listen to. It's like you could you can't get sued for listening to it. You could only get sued for playing it on the
Well,
radio.
I posted the podcast video last week on YouTube and it got copyrighted for freaking 10 seconds because you can't play more than 10 seconds. I think I passed it by like 1 second of Smallville Save Me because we were still talking, so I left that in. But it was, I guess, too high enough for it to get copyrighted. So I was like, great. So we had to clip that out and then now it's posted. It's fine, but it's just like, really? It's right at the end, too. So whatever. It is what it is.
Somehow there's we gotta, which is funny because I've seen there was this YouTube video I watch from these YouTube guys that do like scary or disturbing things on YouTube. It's called Nexpo. Oh man, if you want to check out anything that this guy on YouTube, like for how people do YouTube videos and stuff like that, the way his quality of video is just wonderful to listen to, and it's so great, and he does his research so freaking well, and I love the way he does his editing and all that stuff. And it's called Nexpo. It's a lot of creepy shit, and sometimes he discusses other stuff. There was a short documentary he did for an hour based on a school in Portland who was it was a boarding school cult. And throughout the whole thing, he's just talking about like when it was first created, who created it, where did they get their philosophy from to create this certain school, the people who have died in that school, and the whole thing. And just the way he does the production is really freaking good. And I give high praise to that. But the funny thing is, why I'm talking about this. At the end, when he does the end credits, he has a familiar theme song playing, and even my son recognized it because I was like, "Hey, Christian, do you know this song?" And I knew what it was, but I wanted to see if he knew like the theme. And when he heard it, it was like, yeah, that's the intro to Mario 64.
Uh,
So it was like his version of the song, but it's like not the like you could tell that it's actually the theme song from Mario 64. That
right.
scene when you have to choose which category like A, B, and C and D, and you choose it. And but it's done differently, like in a different melodramatic or different temperature, tempo, and a different instrument. So I want to know if that's possible, but we'll figure it out at some point. I think we should all get some sleep because it's 10:44 p.m. on this side of the world, and I don't, and it's early in the morning in the other. If y'all
Yeah.
watching now,
With that being said, you can find us on Stitcher, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Music, and Spotify. Geek Mythos. I think Geek Mythos. You can find it together, and then space podcast. I don't know why that's like that. I gotta fix that. Oh well, I remember now because the other guy before. So I created the website, and then literally like a couple months later, this guy like decided to do a Geek Mythos podcast as well. So that's why whatever. But he hasn't done it in like 4 months, like over a year now. I think he only did like 4 or 5 episodes. We stuck to it, man. Anyways, with that being said, you can find us there, and you could also hit the link tree link down below, and you can find us everywhere else. Join our Discord, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Did I say Twitter? Twitter as well. And we'll see you guys next time. Oh, also follow us on YouTube because YouTube be nice, and Twitch and Twitch. And we're up to 58, but we need some viewers while doing the podcast. I gotta stream more, but my parents want me to do some other stuff during the day, and I'm just like, I gotta do my thing. I'm working already 4 days a week in hell. I don't want to do anything else. Just want to chill, spend time with my girl. I just noticed you changed your name to Dexter Morgan,
I I'm gonna start doing that from now on. I'm gonna
but
start
they
switching.
can't see it because it's too big. I'm only seeing it. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, see you next tip. I can't speak today. See you next time, Geek Gods. Peace.